Hello, this is Anjali Bhimani, and you are watching the Likez TV. Mais oui!
How are you, Anjali? Good?
I'm wonderful. How are you? I love that you say my name the French way too, Anjali.
Yeah,
I love it.
You know, it sounds like jolie, and jolie
Right,
means pretty, right? Yeah.
I know. I'm so grateful. And also, there was a perfume that came out in the early '80s called Anjali. I was always very proud of that when I was a kid.
It's so nice to have you on the show. Thank you for your time. Thank you to be here with us, Anjali.
I'm so excited.
Or should I say, Auntie Ruby?
Yeah, she's quite the auntie, isn't she?
She is.
She is a force to be reckoned with in her own right.
Anjali, before we start, just tell us, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I mean, look, this is a pretty magical time for anyone involved with this show, but there are also so many things just going on in terms of the world of entertainment, and how so many beautiful things are coming out that are breaking boundaries and telling stories in new and exciting ways. It's just been it's really, really good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I'm in France. It's pretty hot.
Yes.
Like we reach almost 40 degrees. You know, it's it's not normal, we can say.
You have aircon or no?
Yeah, we have it. Yeah,
okay, so then you're okay. Okay,
yeah,
so that's fine. You have somewhere to be comfortable inside. As long as you have indoor climate control, you can handle that. Plus, you're in France, which automatically makes it just better. Like, you could be somewhere else. You're in France. It's awesome.
Yeah. So that's good. Anjali, second week in a row now, 2 episodes on 6. Can you tell us more, about your character? How is she involved, in Kamala's journey?
Yeah, well, I cannot tell you more than
of course.
Is already out for obvious reasons, not just because of NDAs and all of that, but because I really want the story to unfold in the way that the creators have created it. I think I tell my friends I'm allergic to spoilers because I get so bummed for myself when someone spoils a surprise for me. I would never want to do that for someone.
I'm the same,
Yeah. But I think you can already, by this episode, you can kind of get a sense of Auntie Ruby's, her MO, her energy. She's not your average auntie. She's definitely got a zest for life, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah, we can say she, it feels like she's has a part old-fashioned and also sophisticated, very modern woman.
For saying that, and what I love about what the creators of the show and the directors of the show did with the aunties is that there is a sort of stereotype about Indian aunties, and look, it is based in a certain amount of reality. There's sort of like auntie culture that we talk about our aunties in South Asian culture, but my aunties really broke the mold. So I love that Auntie Ruby is in there because she reminds me of some of my aunties, and I almost feel like it's an homage to them because yes, of course, there's the gossipy side of things, but there's more to her than that, and I'll leave it there.
There's something, in the show, that I love really, because it's a family thing, in my family, the Bollywood movies, and there's a Bollywood vibes in this show. And, and everyone's out there who know Bollywood, industry
especially episode 2, when there's all the conversation about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the many parts of the show that is so fun for people from different demographics, because if you've never experienced South Asian culture, you can still enjoy it because you can tell You can, the family story is still there. The coming of age story is still there. The supernatural story is still there. And you can tell that there's more depth. And then if you have a knowledge of this culture, or if you are from this culture, there are almost like in-jokes or not in-jokes, but things that you recognize from your own life. Yeah. The Bollywood references, the Marvel references, since Kamala is such a fan of Captain Marvel and all that. Like, there's so many things, there's so many Easter eggs for people of so many groups to be able to enjoy.
Oh, that's nice. So now I know you're familiar with Bollywood movies, and I gotta tell you, something. Your name, Anjali, your real name actually, it reminds me, the movie. I don't know if you know it, but Kuch Kuch Hota Hai with Kajol, in Shah Rukh Khan. I'm a big fan. And I had to tell you.
I love that. Well, like they say in the show, there are no bad Shah Rukh Khan movies. You're hard pressed to find a bad one. I can't think of one offhand.
Shah Rukh needs to be in Marvel. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, I have a feeling that if Shah Rukh had a I don't know. I can't say anything, but like that would be a powerful combination.
Oh yeah, especially in this show, Yeah.
That would be quite the combination.
Oh yeah. Anjali, it is not your first ride with Marvel, as you've been, in the show Runaways for a few episodes. Now you have a bigger part. Tell us about, your journey, your own journey with Marvel and Disney Plus, by the way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the lovely thing was that they're two completely very different. Yeah. Obviously, it's all the Marvel universe, but very different projects. And my role in Runaways was very much to support the storyline that was happening for that period of the show, whereas this one, Auntie Ruby is here at the beginning of the storyline, which is really, really fun to be there from the inception of this show. That's all. It's always really exciting to be a part of something that is new, and also because, I when I was growing up, I remember, my Marvel fandom was the X-Men. I was very, very into the X-Men, the comics, and then the early movies and stuff, and as these worlds are slowly starting to intersect, both in the comic books, but more so in the, now they're just beginning to intersect in the film and TV universe. It's really exciting for me because now I feel like I'm getting to recognize all the things that I grew up with. The same way Iman, our leading lady, who is phenomenal.
She's Kamala, fantastic.
The same way she is so deeply immersed in Marvel lore as a person. She coming to this show, I feel like she knew more about Ms. Marvel than any of us, including maybe the creators. She's so on point. And that's kind of how I feel when I hear X-Men references. I get really excited. So it's been fun. I mean, I'm a huge fan of fantasy fiction and science fiction in general. So, and I do believe that these stories that we have in the Marvel universe are like our modern day mythology. So it's very, 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 very satisfying to be a part of it.
And you can, because, in a certain way, we can say that, this show in particular, this is the first show with a superheroine, from South Asia, and not only she's from South Asia, but she's also a Muslim, and now we're able to see that. At first, I got to be straight, I was afraid, how they're going to portray it, because I'm half Asian and half Arabic myself, and and I was like, I hope we were not gonna, going down on the, the standard or the caricature or something, and now it is so believable, so related, you can relate it with the family thing, with the mother, with the father, because it's like, as I told you before, like old fashioned and also sophisticated, but with values, in culture. And I love that. So
yes, absolutely. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I mean, obviously, from the very beginning, the creators of the show, which included the creators of the comic book,
of course,
wanted so much to make sure that this was an accurate depiction of this particular family, that it was also a multi-layered and multifaceted depiction, that no one was one-dimensional or two-dimensional, that everybody had an intricate story. And what I think is so special about that, among other things, is that not only can South Asians and hopefully Muslims as well see this and recognize themselves and connect with it and identify it. But also it means that other people from different demographics, from different religions, from different backgrounds can identify with characters too because of the storylines. Maybe not the culture, maybe not the religion, but they can identify because every parent knows what it's like to want the best for your kid, what it's like to be so frustrated with your parents because they don't get you. You know, all of these things that are part of the story are universal parts of the story, just told with the unique elements that come from being this background, from her being not just Pakistani, but Pakistani American, which is also a specific thing because it's like you and like me, it's dual cultures. And how do you reconcile those two?
Yeah.
Right. It's a very different experience than necessarily being fully South Asian in South Asia. So I'm really, again, I'm so grateful and impressed and honored that these creators not only like did it right, but I think they raised the bar in terms of that, because it is also easy to purely focus on in a show or in a book or in a film. I think it's easy to purely focus on something being about someone from a particular culture or a particular religion, but that alone doesn't pay homage to the fact that we are all a sum of all the things that make us unique. We are not just our cultural background. We are not just our religion. We are not just our spirituality. We are not just our gender orientation or our sexual orientation. There's all these different things. And I think this show really does honor to that. And I'm blown away by what they've created.
Anjali, before I let you go, what is next for you? Do you have some plan?
Oh gosh, yeah. Well,
a lot of things. Yeah, you have a lot of followers on Instagram. I saw that.
Yeah, well, I'm very
million of followers. That's amazing.
I have a beautiful community of people who are wildly supportive and artistic in their own right. And one of the big projects that I have been working on since late last year is also coming out later this year, which is a book that I wrote that was for this particular community that's based on a web series that I did. So the web series is called I Am Fun Size, and the book is called I Am Fun Size and So Are You. And it was a love letter to this amazing community of artists and cosplayers and fiction writers and fan fiction writers who I connected with online early on as I began to enter the gaming world, the gaming industry, as an actor, as opposed to just as a player. And I wanted to give something back. And this book is sort of my offering, more than anything, to let people know that they are not alone, that whether they have they always have their unique experiences, but they don't have to do it alone. And so it's kind of a ride through some of my crazy journey, some of it fun and some of it embarrassing, whatever it is, but it's something to share with them and say, you're not alone. We've all been through this. It will be out to the world. We did a Kickstarter last year to fund the whole publication of it. And now it's happening on August 29th. So that is my personal labor of love project. And then Overwatch 2, we just announced that the follow-up to Overwatch, which I am in, is going to be coming out on October 4th, which I'm excited about. Apex Legends keeps going. We have more stuff coming out with Apex Legends. And then I just have a bunch of projects that I'm not allowed to talk about.
Of course. I don't want you to lose your job or something.
That's why. And so that's why I always encourage people to follow me on the socials, not because I want more followers, but because I genuinely can't say anything about things until they come out, and I don't want anyone to miss something. So that's usually where we get to share that.
Anjali, it was so nice to have you on the show. I love your energy. Keep that. Keep doing your thing. You're so lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And you come back anytime on the Likers TV.
Okay. Well, don't threaten me with a good time. I might just knock on your door on the regular. So be ready.
Oh yeah. I am. Bye, Anjali. Yeah. Bye. Stay safe. Bye.
You too.